Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We've got an active and potentially disruptive weather setup across the Great Lakes region starting Tuesday night, and it's all because of a clash between warm and cooler air masses. This battle is going to play out in multiple rounds, bringing heavy rain, thunderstorms, and travel impacts, especially across southern Ontario. Let's start with the setup. Very warm and humid air has surged into the region, with places like Windsor reaching close to 28 degrees on Tuesday. That kind of warmth might feel great, but it also creates a lot of instability in the atmosphere, and that's exactly what's fueling these storms. Now heading into Tuesday night, we're expecting another round of thunderstorms to develop and move through southwestern Ontario. This will be similar to what some areas already experienced earlier, with loud thunder, bright lightning, and heavy downpours. The biggest concern overnight is the intensity of the rainfall. These storms will be capable of producing very heavy rain in a short period of time, which could lead to water pooling on roads and reduced visibility. If you're driving late at night or early Wednesday morning, conditions could be quite challenging. There is also the potential for strong wind gusts and even small hail, particularly in areas like Sarnia, Essex County, Leamington, and Windsor. These have the highest chance of seeing stronger storm activity as the system taps into that warm, unstable air. As we move into early Wednesday morning, the second round continues. So this is not a one-time event. We're looking at repeated waves of thunderstorms bringing more heavy rain and frequent lightning. The morning commute on Wednesday could once again be impacted with slower traffic and poor visibility. The key takeaway here is that this pattern is not just about one storm. It's multiple rounds moving through, each capable of producing heavy downpours and localized impacts. Even if one round passes, another one may follow shortly after. So if you're in southern Ontario, especially in the southwestern regions, stay weather-aware overnight and into Wednesday morning. Allow extra travel time, watch for flooded roadways, and be prepared for rapidly changing conditions. Look what's happening across Canada. Let's get you updated on what to expect starting Tuesday night and moving through midweek, because Canada is heading into a very active pattern with multiple systems moving across the country. Some areas will finally get a break, while others are just getting started with rain, snow, and even the risk of thunderstorms. Starting off in Atlantic Canada, early Tuesday night still sees some lingering snow, especially around St. John's and parts of Newfoundland. But the good news is that this clears out fairly quickly. By late night into early Wednesday morning, conditions begin to settle down, and much of Atlantic Canada actually moves into a quieter stretch of weather. Across the Maritimes, it's not just calmer, but also relatively mild for this time of year. Winds will ease, skies will improve, and overall it's going to be a much more comfortable setup compared to what we've seen recently. That said, this break doesn't last forever, but it does give a short window of calmer conditions through midweek. Now shifting toward central Canada, the focus turns to the Great Lakes and the St. Lawrence region. This is where rainfall becomes the main story. As we head into late Tuesday night and especially into Wednesday morning, waves of moisture begin moving through. We're not just talking about one system here. It's multiple waves of active weather, each bringing periods of rain, and in some cases, thunderstorms. These storms won't be constant all day long, but they will come in rounds. The first round arrives early Wednesday, possibly during the pre-dawn hours, bringing steady rainfall and the chance for a few thunderstorms. Then as we move into the afternoon, there may be a brief break in some areas. But don't get too comfortable, because another round is expected later in the evening and into the night. With so much moisture available in the atmosphere, rainfall could become quite heavy at times. This raises concerns for ponding on roads, pooling water, and even localized flooding in low-lying areas. If you're commuting, especially during those heavier bursts, visibility could be reduced significantly. Temperatures across the Great Lakes region will actually be above normal during this period. Cities like Windsor and Toronto will feel quite mild, with highs reaching into the 20s in some areas. But with that warmth comes instability, which is why we're seeing the risk of thunderstorms mixed in with the rain. Now heading west into the Prairies, things are a bit more mixed. Southern parts of the Prairies actually get a bit of a break from active weather, especially early on. Skies remain relatively calm Tuesday night into early Wednesday. However, that begins to change as we move further into midweek. Snow will start to develop across parts of Manitoba, especially in the north, and gradually begin pushing southward. While southern Manitoba may avoid the heaviest snow at first, areas further north will see accumulating snowfall. At the same time, Alberta starts to see increasing impacts, especially closer to the Rockies. Snow begins to develop and intensify, and this will become more widespread as we head into Thursday. Winds across Alberta and parts of Saskatchewan could also pick up, with gusts reaching 50 to even 60 kilometers per hour. When you combine that with falling snow, it creates blowing snow and reduced visibility, which can make travel quite difficult. Now let's move into British Columbia, where conditions remain unsettled through this period. Tuesday night into Wednesday, we're still dealing with a mix of coastal rain and higher elevation snow. The snow level is something to watch closely. Initially sitting around 1,000 meters, it may drop closer to 800 meters by Wednesday morning. That means some areas that were seeing rain could start to see wet snow instead. There's also a chance of isolated thunderstorms, particularly through the interior regions, including areas from Williams Lake up toward Prince George. As we move through Wednesday, that risk may even extend toward the south coast. The winds in British Columbia will not be as strong as what we saw earlier, but conditions will still be unsettled with periods of rain and snow continuing. By the time we head into Thursday, British Columbia's south coast will begin to dry out, bringing some improvement. However, snowfall will increase along the Rockies and begin spreading into Alberta, continuing that active pattern further east. So the big picture from Tuesday night onward is a country divided between brief calm periods and ongoing active weather. Atlantic Canada gets a short break after early snow clears. The Great Lakes region deals with repeated rounds of rain and possible thunderstorms. The Prairies transition back into snow, and British Columbia remains unsettled before gradually improving. Make sure to stay updated, especially if you're traveling, because conditions can change quickly depending on your location. That's your latest forecast update starting Tuesday night. Stay safe, stay prepared, and don't forget to subscribe for more weather updates as we continue to track these systems across Canada.